I don't know where you've been, but you're gonna respect this courtroom. My life has proven that it's not about where you come from, it's about where you're going. From a jailed youth who had my record expunged to becoming the youngest judge elected.
The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
In just 15 years. Ma'am, let me know when you want to go to rehab. Otherwise, I think you're a crackhead.
Absolutely not.
My goal is to inspire others to overcome their obstacles. You don't need him and his little raggedy roommate.
Thank you.
All while having a little fun on Mathis Court. You look like you're ready to lie right the first word out your mouth. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Tremaine Evans is suing Marcel Evans in the amount of $1,000.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may be seated.
Mr. Evans claims his brother never told him about lottery winnings their mother sent for both of them and says the defendant kept the money for himself.
State your name.
Tremaine Evans.
Sir?
Marcel Evans.
All right, and you are suing your brother for $1,000, alleging he stole your share of lottery winnings?
Yes, sir, he did.
All right, start with you.
Just to give you a little background, Judge.
Yes,
we moved to California when I was 16. My brother was about 10 years old. We're originally from Louisiana, so it was hard.
What part?
Lake Charles. We're from Lake Charles, Louisiana, yeah. We came here to Compton. So, you know, growing up, and going to high school in Compton was hard.
What year?
What year? 2016.
That you came to Compton?
Oh, no, that I graduated high school.
Yeah, when did you move to Compton? What year?
Oh, we moved to Compton in 2006, I think it was.
Okay, I'm just trying to put it in context.
Yes, sir.
Moving from Lake Charles,
yeah, small
which
town.
is not as challenging
Not at all.
or a tough city
Not at
as
all.
Compton.
And not at all.
And so
Small
you moved
town.
to Compton in 06. How
Yes.
old were you?
16.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Whether you can crib walk or not.
Oh no, I can't. I can't crib walk.
Hey, how you gonna be in Compton at age 16 and can't crib walk?
I was into the
American
book.
crib walk, and he came up in Beverly Hills. Show me a crib walker, man. Stop that. You're gonna have to pay. Stop. You can't play. You can't do that. You can't emulate these gang members unless you pay them.
No, Your Honor, I was
you're gonna
into
have
the
to pay
book.
for that. All right, I'm not gonna make you crip walk. I don't want you getting in trouble.
No, sir. I was more so into the books. I graduated high school with a 4.3 GPA. So, you know, coming from Compton, that's a lot.
Yes, that's amazing.
But my mom, she always made me like the man of the house. I had to do different things. I had to work my way up. But for my brother, everything was handed to him. He didn't have to get a job. Mom
He's
did
6 years younger than you?
6 years younger than me, yes, sir.
Or are you the only two?
We're the only two, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everything.
For sure.
Exactly. Everything was always handed to him, but...
Did she call him the baby all the time, even as an adult?
She called him the baby all the time, yeah. And I had to get my own job. He has a job at the city as a bus driver, just like she did before she retired and moved back to Louisiana. So she ended up getting him a job, and yeah, so, and then I had an unplanned kid. I had a son. And so in order for me to save up, and the way the rent is out here is a lot. So my brother, he still lived in the apartment that we grew up in Compton. So rent is cheap. So I'm like, oh, let me go and stay with my brother. He has that extra room. Let's see if we can do this. So I hit him up, and he said, yeah, we can do it. So I was gonna pay half of the rent, $888 a month. And so I go to the apartment. It wasn't what I expected. Nothing in the apartment, not even a sofa. He still had the same twin bed we had since high school. So I was like, no, I don't think I can do this. But I still gave it a try. So it was hard for me because I was like, I can't bring my son over. Got in a new relationship. Can't bring my girl over here. You got to bring your girl somewhere. I'm like, I can't bring my girl over here. And then I just ended up saying, no, I can't do it. So in September, I told him, I said, bro, I'm going to move out. Moved out November 10th, like 10 days into the month. Still gave him $300 of the prorated amount.
You are such a hater. He is such a hater. You give me your version of how things came together with the two of you.
What he said was partially right. We did actually move from Lake Charles, Louisiana. He was 16, I was 10 at the time, so I was the younger baby. And from there we moved out here to LA and everything.
And they didn't force you to be in You didn't join up with one of the crews?
No, I never joined up with one of the crews. I always was like to myself. I was the good kid. So
tell me how you avoid it, because you got a lot of young people. Their moms make them sit there and watch me so that they can get some insight on how I overcame the streets. And so you all tell them, the ones in Compton and ones in gang-infested areas, how do you avoid it?
Church. Every day.
Okay.
Yeah,
There you
basically
go.
church.
I've heard that many times.
Every day.
That is how you escape the environment. Young folks and mothers, take them kids, force feed it to them, make them go to church. So, what's your mother's name?
Jackie.
Jackie, thank you. Let's get Jackie a hand. She knew what to do. One of the toughest areas in the country.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm proud of you guys and your mother.
Coming up on Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
He agreed, if you send me all the money, I'll give Tremaine his portion of the money. He never gave it to me. He said, well, you stay with me for November, I'm taking it for the rent.
That's right.
But, Your Honor.
And later,
I was driving it. I could tell that the brakes needed to be pressed a little harder. That's his responsibility. It's his car.
But you're in it. It's your responsibility to avoid killing yourself.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Tremaine Evans, who is suing his brother, Marcel Evans, for bad debt.
So, your relationship with your brother, was it always sour, or you were just a baby and you can see him looking at you like my brother used to look at me? Yeah, we're going to get this when Mama go to work. We're going to get to his behind. How was it?
So it was always sour. We was always getting in fights all the time, whether it's over toys, over game systems, whatever the case may be. It was a couple times that we got into fights at school, and he pushed me up against the locker, and I had to get stitches from that. And then it was one time he broke my phone and it dropped off the dresser, and I asked him, hey, can you pay for this and cover this, because it was only $200 to cover for it, for the screen. He didn't want to cover for it. So I met him at the club and we started tuffling.
You colder than my brothers. My brothers would take my stuff, but at least they'd give it back when Mama came home. But he just broke your stuff or took it all together.
It was an accident, Your Honor.
So tell me about these lottery winnings that you're suing him about.
So my mom called me. I missed the call. She calls my brother, tells him I won a lottery scratch off, and he agreed, if you send me all the money, I'll give Tremaine his portion of the money. He never gave it to me. I reached out to him for the portion of the money. He said, well, you stay with me for November, I'm taking it for the rent.
That's right.
But, Your Honor.
Y'all bullying me all my life. Now you want to come over here and live off of me. You didn't want to live off of me when you was throwing me against that locker. You didn't want to live off of me when you was getting them stitches. Now you want to live off of me. Now you need me. You need him now. Now you talking about you want some money from him. You sound like a fool. But I got to go by the law. Let me hear him out. All right, so
Well,
go ahead.
Well, he agreed to the fact that he would give me the $1,000.
He told your mother that?
He told my mother that, yeah.
How do you know?
She told me. She sent me, I have evidence. She sent me the,
You
yeah.
agree that your mother told you
Okay.
that?
Right.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So he told her that, and then I also sent him the $300 for the prorated amount of rent.
Okay, you
already.
moved out?
Yes, sir. Whenever I moved out.
Why? Why'd you move out?
I moved out because I was gonna go stay with my girlfriend.
Got it.
That
All
way I
right.
can bring my son over. It was a more suitable place.
Good. All right. When you went to your mother, what did she say?
She was upset with me because I had never told her thank you for the money that she had given me, but I had never received the money. So that's how I figured it out that she had won. I would have never known.
Why don't you think he should get it, sir?
I don't think he should get it because back in September, he told me he was going to be moving out. And on top of that, he didn't want to give me the rest of the money that he owed me, which was $888. So
He
that's
gave
what
you a 30-day notice that he was moving out?
Correct.
Well, that's all he's supposed to do. But he stayed 10 extra days after that?
Correct. He
So
kept
you
coming back.
charged him prorated to charge?
Correct.
And how much would that have come to?
$738.
So how you going to take $1,000 then?
Stealing, thief.
He owes me. He didn't even pay for. He didn't pay for like the utilities and nothing like that, because that equals up to $300
He's
some
been
dollars.
stealing since we were kids.
The utilities for that month, or he never paid the
Oh,
utilities?
he always paid the utilities, but for that month he did not pay the utilities. He
Okay,
left.
so I see why then, yeah, you have to add that in as well. That would come to about $1,000. You rounding it off.
Correct.
You can't round nothing off when you go to court. You got to show each item that you are suing for. So unless you got some electric bills over there, we down to $700.
Oh yes, I can actually show you that right now.
There you go. Hey, he's like me. My mother, I'm the only one that went to church school, so I was the smartest. He's smarter than you. He brought his evidence. All right, he sure has it. Yeah. You got it itemized here. The issue is, however, sir, it was a gift from Mom to both of you.
Yeah.
And you can't, for lack of a better term, hijack his money for what he owes you. You can't take his gift. Say, you owed me, so let me get that gift.
Yeah.
Nah, it's mine. We even. No, that's ultimately what it would be referred to as self-enforcement of a debt that you believe is owed to you. No, you have to sue him like he is suing you. However, you didn't do that. You took it on your own without asking. That was his. You can't take somebody else's property just because they owe you. I don't know if folks know that or not. You can't do that. Had you sued him, you'd have won, because you've proven that he owes you. But he sued you, and he got your behind this time. Little devil around here trying to get everything you can out of Mama. Mama sends some money, you gonna keep it. You've been getting everything all your life, so the little bit of money you are supposed to get, you should get it. Am I right or wrong? You're gonna get it today. $1,000 for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $1,000.
I just want to say you don't deserve that money. That's my money.
No, it's my money, and I got exactly what I needed.
Yeah. You can go back to that wretched girlfriend you have.
Coming up,
Less than 5 minutes later, I get a FaceTime call. She says that the car's been damaged. And then when she FaceTimes me and shows me the damage, I realize that she actually ended up hitting a pole.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Jose Garcia is suing Wendy Gomez in the amount of $2,575. Mr. Garcia claims his friend borrowed his car to run an errand and says Miss Gomez refused to split the cost of the repairs after she crashed his vehicle into a pole.
State your name,
Jose Garcia?
ma'am.
Wendy Gomez.
All right, and sir, you're suing Miss Gomez for $2,575, alleging she owes you this money for crashing your car.
Correct, yes, sir.
Start with you.
Yeah, so I'm really disappointed today to be here because I decided to let Wendy borrow my car to go do me a simple favor of going to the liquor store. So we go to this party. It's our friend Angela's summer annual barbecue party. And obviously we're all drinking. She doesn't drink. So I'm at the party already. We are running low on alcohol. So we decided to ask the only person who is sober at the party to do us a favor and go to the liquor store, which was less than a mile away, and get us some drinks. Now, she left. I want to say less than 5 minutes later, I get a FaceTime call. She says that the car's been damaged. And then when she FaceTimes me and shows me the damage, I realize that she actually ended up hitting a pole. And as you can see here, Judge, I have the evidence for you.
You see it, please, Mayor.
Yeah, I made the entire folder.
So she states that she hit the pole because my brakes weren't working. I told her I didn't want her to touch the car anymore. I decided to call a tow truck to have the car picked up and taken back to my house.
All right, let me hear from you, ma'am.
I was driving it. I passed by 2 stop signs. I could tell that the brakes needed to be pressed a little harder. I just figured that I would grab it really quick and make it back to the party, but that obviously didn't happen.
And drive on with faulty brakes.
Yes, but
Okay.
that's his responsibility. It's his car.
But you're in it. It's your responsibility to avoid killing yourself.
Coming up,
So I asked her if we could please go half and half, if she could help me cover the damage, and she denied, says that it's my responsibility, that the car is my damage, and that I drove with faulty brakes.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Jose Garcia, who is suing Wendy Gomez for property damage.
It's not his responsibility to stop you from being killed because you're driving unknowingly driving a faulty vehicle. You didn't mind?
No.
All right, good enough. Thank you for telling me that. Go ahead. You let me know she had knowledge of it and she took the risk. Go ahead.
I was being a good
I
friend.
complained about the brakes plenty of time, Your Honor. I told her she could hear the squeaky brakes.
Had he told you about them before?
He joked about it.
Okay, ma'am. Go ahead.
She's been in my car plenty of times. My brakes would make squeaky noise, and she would even call me out on it and say, how about we turn on the radio so we don't hear the squeakiness?
She acknowledges
so she's pretty
that
much
she
aware
knew.
of it, Your Honor.
Knew before she got in, and then knew within feet.
Correct.
Who drives around on faulty brakes knowingly? Go ahead.
I had to pay for out of pocket. I was gonna go through my insurance with it, but I know that if I used my insurance to pay for that damage, I would have paid way higher rates after that. So I asked her if we could please go half and half, if she could help me cover the damage, and she denied, says that it's my responsibility, that the car is my damage, and that I drove with faulty brakes.
Well, let me give you the law on your offer. She didn't accept that offer. Therefore, you go back to the entire amount. And that's what you're here to doing today. And with regard to the insurance, a person is not required to use their insurance when there's an accident at all, whether it's their fault or the other person's fault. You gave her some type of deal, just give me half. Nope, not giving you a dime. Nothing.
Nada.
I knew the brakes were faulty, but I just kept going. What the hell?
How will Judge Mathis rule? Find out when Mathis Court returns.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. On the other hand, give you a little more law. If a person is doing something for your benefit, they have to be grossly negligent or extraordinarily negligent, not regular negligence. If it was for mutual benefit, then simple negligent law applies. But she's doing this for you. So you have to prove that it was gross or extraordinary negligence in this case. And I'm not going to conclude that. I think it was simple negligence. I think she was negligent to knowingly drive a car which she knew had a brake problem. Gross negligence, perhaps if you told me she was doing donuts in the street, knowing that she was on faulty brakes. That's gross negligence. Drinking alcohol and acting irresponsibly will cost you money, and in this case, it's costing you $2,575 because I must dismiss your claim. She was not extraordinarily negligent. Have a good day. Claim dismissed.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I'm very disappointed, and things are not going to be the same between us.
You set me up to be sued and you need to stop drinking.
You can head this way.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.